Hey, 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 it's a great day, everybody, and thank you for being here. I am Dr. Marrian Sista Efua of the Life Alchemy Center, and this is your Saturday Satdown. I missed y'all. We had a busy week around here, but know that you were in my thoughts and that's what this whole purpose of this podcast is today. My topic today is simply what I said: balance or flow. And I want to talk about balance and flow. And for some of you, you have a poll that I'm asking you to interact with me with. Just asking yourself, what does it really mean when we say balance? When you hear the word balance, do you feel like it's overrated? Do you feel like it's overwhelming? Do you feel that it means simply prioritize, that you must prioritize balancing? You tell me what you think about this ideal of balance. So why is this conversation happening today? Is because I'm realizing as I move through my life as a Life Harmony Alchemist. That means I'm helping you design, discover, and activate the life harmony that is naturally, innately within your life. It's allowing me an opportunity to guide you through some soul level solutions, not just a solution, but a soul level solution that invites you into a higher part of your existence. One that is without judgment, one that is without constraints, one that is not based upon the consensus of another person that's not living your personal experience. So today we're going to be talking about that, this whole idea of what is balance. Now, usually around this time, people are jovial. They're going into all these new adventures in their lives. They're taking on new food maintenance programs or taking on new movement programs, and they're really examining what it is they want to experience in life. But then something happens. This is also the time of the year, according to the World Health Organization, where people here, specifically in America, have the most hospitalizations. Not because they're having a car crash, not because but because of stroke, heart attack, right? Stress-related issues. And so this idea today that I wanted to talk about is the idea of balance versus flow. Now we're going to get more into this ideal of what I mean by balance, but that's part of my journey, as I said earlier, as a Harmonic Life Alchemist. An alchemist simply means that I'm able to utilize the alchemic formula of transformation and apply it to life and assist you in finding harmony, whatever that is for you as an individual. And I do that through my events, through my books, through my podcasts, through my retreats, through my speaking in public. But that's what it's all about. Okay. So if you haven't followed me by now, please take a moment and follow me. But let's have this joyful conversation together, and welcome again to all of you who are joining me here on today. Our Saturday sit down topic is simply balance or flow. You're going to decide which one is best for you after we have this discussion. But in the meantime, let me know where you're watching me from. Where are you at? What city, what state, what country? If you don't know the city and state, tell me what country you're following me in, because I know this is a global podcast. Let me know where you are. As you know, I'm going to be trekking the globe one more time starting in next month in February. So who knows? I may be in your neighborhood. I may be in your backyard. I may be at your table for dinner. So let me know where you are. So this conversation today about harmony, balance, right? Harmony, balance, flow. Balance or flow. Now, what really prompted me is that over the last maybe 4 days, I've been getting messages about people having these heart attacks and strokes. And one of my favorite singers last April of 2022 had a stroke. She's a South African singer. Her name is Lyra. And so she had a stroke. Then right after that, someone else I know had a heart attack. And then just recently in the news, they just stated that Lisa Presley, for those of you who are not old enough, she's the daughter of Elvis Presley and Priscilla Presley. And also this Lisa Presley was also married to Michael Jackson briefly. So she made the news. And they even said that she didn't make it. So I started thinking, what is this about? We just lost Robin Givens. Not Robin Givens, excuse me. Robin, what's Robin's last name? The newscaster. I just lost her name because I didn't write it down. But we just lost all these people. And it's all related to this ideal of them working. And everybody kept saying, oh, they worked so hard. They were so dedicated. They were always available. They were always doing this. But no one ever talks about the cost of that. The cost to have this balance, the cost to be available, the cost to be consistent, the cost to be disciplined. Because mainly what they tell us is either or, because that's what balance does. Yeah, we're right here. Balance tells you what? Balance tells us what we're supposed to look like, how we're supposed to look in the middle of doing this process versus what actually should be happening in our lives. When we talk about having a balanced meal is supposed to have a representative from all those categories: vegetables, fruits, oils, grains, right? Some type of flesh or protein, the different categories. So if that's what balance is, how does balance show up in your particular life? That's our conversation today on the Saturday Satdown with the Chat DV, aka Dr. Marrian Sista Efua of the Amazon Life Alchemy Center. We're asking you to consider, how does balance play a role in your life? Or maybe we need to deconstruct this ideal of balance and get rid of it and start functioning from a flow perspective. I know at my retreats, that's something that I offer people when I do corporate events, when I do personal individual events. I focus on getting people to assemble and create and discover their personal flow that is innately within them from their sacred soul script. Because we've already been reacting to all the stimuli, all the expectations, all the constraints, all the ways of our upbringing, our exposure, our experiences, our events that we've had. And they've given us a blueprint, but the blueprint never really has the instructions. How many of y'all have ordered something that was really, you wanted it? Like me, I order a lot of bookshelves. You know, I'm ordering something that's going to help me display things, and I get it. And the directions are simply just, you know, there are 24 bolts, there are 13 this and 13 that, right? Because the blueprint is there. The parts are there, but there's no real instructions. So you have to be able to pull upon something. And that's what balance does. I like that comment. Keisha says, you know, people don't talk about the stress of being an entrepreneur and the 9 to 5, especially the demanding job or career. Absolutely, positively so it is. And you must be on the same spiritual frequency as me, because that's exactly where I was going to next. How many of us are pushing and pushing and pushing, and we're calling ourselves entrepreneurs? We should be entering into a newness. That's what preneur means, newness. But yet we're stressed, we're overwhelmed, we're disconnected. We're lacking the ability to harmonize ourselves and get centered. And then we definitely can't tell anyone else, because then we'll get, I told you so. You should have just kept that 9 to 5. Or if you're on that 9 to 5, 3 to 7, 7 to 3, 8 to 4, maybe the stresses of that particular job is causing you to say, you got to have work-life balance. Well, my child has a recital. My husband isn't feeling well. I'm not feeling well. I want to go see my family. But now you got to pick and choose between what it is. And so that adds to your thing. But can I tell you, that's why I'm here. I'm here to remind you that there is and there are safe places where you can exist. I'm just one example of them. I'm just one example. My programs, my spiritual consults, my coaching, my counseling, all of that, mentorship, all of it, the events are all geared to give you that safe space to be vulnerable, again, to discover and create the flow for you. Not based upon my life, but based upon your life and your original assignment. Yeah. So if we're going to get into a state of flow, we got to understand what is meant, because there really is a dichotomy between this ideal of flow. When I think of flow, you tell me in the comments right now, tell me in the comments real nice. When you hear the word flow, what image, what word came to your mind to associate with flow? Go ahead. I'll give you a moment. The word flow, what does it create in your mind? What image, what words come to your mind? Go ahead and share with me in the comments, please. Absolutely. Welcome to all of you that are joining me. I know some of you just said that you're watching at work. Water, peace, a river. Yeah. Those are all excellent. When you hear the word flow, what comes to mind? Calm. Absolutely. Because now when you think of that, now picture your life in the way you're trying, when you say you're trying to have balance. Is it running like the water? Is it peaceful? Is there a current that is guiding you and drifting you and allowing you to flow through? Is it calming? If it is not, then you're not in flow. You're in balance. You're seeking balance, because balance has us doing the weeble wobble, weeble wobble, and you won't fall down. That's what it's doing to us. And in a second, I'm going to walk you through some words, some additional words that come to me when I talked about this process of balance and flow. Because the goal is to have an expansive life, an exponential existence that is full of life harmony, and understanding our alchemic code. Again, alchemy simply means transformative code. Yeah. We're changing something into something we really, really want. We're getting an upgrade. It's an upgrade. That's what alchemy does. That's what alchemy does. So if we're thinking about that, and we're thinking about our individual lives, and we're trying to examine where we're at and what we desire, then we need to reevaluate some of these terms. Because, my favorite person, one of my favorite persons, is Paul Robeson. And what does he say? We must elevate ourselves from a language that can no longer bear the weight of our reality. And it is my premise today that the word balance no longer can bear the weight of our reality as entrepreneurs, as parents, as spouses, as lovers, as community people, as entrepreneurs. It can no longer bear the weight of our reality. We no longer need to be seeking balance. We need to be seeking flow, harmonic flow. And let me tell you why. When we hear the word balance is about exclusion. You got to let go of some stuff. You got to say no to some things. Am I right or am I wrong? Y'all tell me. Right? I'm going to see, can I pull up this one image that I have? All right. I'm going to try to share this with y'all today. Let's see if it'll let me do it. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But I want to share this image because it just popped in my head that I had an image that I came across. So give me 1 second. Oh, it won't let me. It won't let me because it's not already preset. But I'm going to tell you what the image is. I'll snapshot it and I'm going to download it. But basically what it's showing me is that this image is of a woman. This image is of a woman on a scale, on a teeter-totter. There it is. Let's see. It's on a teeter-totter. And this teeter-totter, she's balancing herself. And on one hand, there's a smiley face, and on one hand, there's another. And then underneath is a grimace face that's holding her in this balance. Because it requires you to enjoy something while you deny another. It becomes boring and monotonous in that you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're having that same feeling of, I have to choose, but not choose freely from my innate harmony in life, but I have to choose from the expectations of other people and from a sacrificial place. That might be difficult for some to harness. Balance is about an individual. What is necessary in that individual experience, in that individual moment, in that individual, for that individual that is there. That's what balance is telling you. Balance is stagnant. You don't have much room. You're constantly trying to keep this. Okay, got it. Oh, there's something else. Now I gotta figure it out again. That's balance. That's stress. That's disharmony. That's not a steady flow. Right? Whereas when we start looking at things from a harmonic flow experience, which will involve all 7 life structures will be in harmony. Marrian, what do you mean by the 7 life structures? What do you mean by the 7 life structures? Right? I'm talking about our spirituality, our mental and emotional. I'm talking about our optimum physical health and wellness. I'm talking about our finances with assurances that those finances are going to keep improving, the rewarding and reciprocating relationships, and the ability to leverage our talents, our skills, our knowledge, our education, our business, and our career in such a way that it's beneficial. There shouldn't be a competition. There shouldn't be an incompletion. As Keisha talked about, the stress level should not be there if this is something we are pursuing because it belongs to us. It is part of our timeline. It's part of our original assignment. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? If you're still with me, let me know in the comments. Give me a 1. Give me a hey. Because when we take on the position that we want to be in a harmonic flow, just like a choir when it's singing, there's a soprano, there's an alto, there's a tenor, there's a bass, but then there's also registers that are in between. First soprano, second soprano, concerto. There's a first tenor, second tenor, there's a bass, there's a baritone. So there are degrees and there are variations that exist, but yet the sound is beautiful when things are in harmony. And that's what we're striving for ourselves. We're striving for harmony and flow, balance or flow. Only you can decide and only you can implement the process that allows you to be in a state that is either exclusatory or inclusive. In a state that is humdrum and boring and stressful, or a state that is adventurous and exploratory. Are you going to be for just the individual, or are you going to become part of the global contributing part of all those parts of who you are and what you desire, love, appreciate, and want? Your community, your colleagues, your families, your friends. Or are you going to be stagnant? Right? This is all I can do. I can't do no more. Don't add nothing else to my plate. It's going to tip the scale. Or are you going to be looking at being in an active state of movement and circulation and freedom and opportunities? Let's pause for a second, because that was a lot to take in. And I want to tell you that right now, your decision does not have to come right now. But your decision to be more aware of whether you are seeking balance and it has benefits, or you're seeking a harmonic flow that has benefits. This conversation is something that I talk to people all the time about in my programs. And when I'm out speaking and training and working with women in leadership, men in leadership, the average day mother, father, brother, sister. When I'm talking to the average person, just like you and I, that wake up and put one pants on in front of the other. But unfortunately, when we go out into the world, we have to be this title. But that's stressful. I love that Keisha said that right away. It's stressful. It's stressful to be in that experience of knowing that you are in pursuit of something that you believe is a part of you or a part of your mission to make a contribution, yet you're bound by this expectation of you got to have just enough. Maybe I'm going to break. And then the scale breaks. And we wonder why we have people with physical ailments. Well, I'll tell you why. Your mental and emotional status greatly impacts your physical health and wellness. It's been scientifically proven that your emotions and your mental stability affect your physical body, your organs. People get high blood pressure, they get diabetes. Diabetes is not just caused by you eating a lot of sugar and carbs. Diabetes is also caused by stress and the inability of your pancreas to process High blood pressure is just not because of salt. It's also from you having an imbalance of being on high alert all the time. Not resting your body, where you become more firm and rigid versus agile. And planning and accommodating and accepting. Thank you for being here. You listen to the Saturday Satdown. I am Dr. Marrian Sista Efua of Azon Life Alchemy Center. If you're enjoying this conversation, I invite you to like the live itself, wherever platform you're watching it on. And I also invite you to take a moment out to tell 5 friends, 5 enemies, 5 people that you love, and 1 stranger that we're here doing the Saturday Satdown. This is an opportunity for us to share and bring about a shared experience that can help us get rid of the scale and open ourselves up to have a candid conversation and tap into some solutions, SOUL-lutions, because we're not alone. Our soul has the answers. We have the answers. The challenge is, how do we access them? And that's what I do as a harmonic life alchemist, allowing you to have a bridge from the physical world to the spiritual world and the metaphysical world, and apply it to your life in ways that allow you to have a flow. To understand that when you feel the extra pressures on your shoulders, I know what that's like. To be sitting in a place like this and looking good and feeling, and people thinking you feeling good and you putting on a good show, but all you can feel is the pressure on your shoulders. In the back of your mind are these nagging thoughts of what should be done, what can't be done, what you want to do. And then you begin to become resentful because you're saying, well, why am I doing this if I can't enjoy it? And why is everybody bothering me? You're under the influence. You're under the influence of just seeking an identity through balance. Absolutely, positively, so it is. Again, how do we balance out the scales? Because when you have, as I said earlier, when you have harmony, sure, you have things on one level. You might be, okay, fine, this is family. This is my relationship with my job. Okay, cool. So they're a little off, but I can give them I can still see them. I can still make a contribution, but now I'm in control of how much of an invasion, how much of a contribution am I going to allow? And how long? And how long? That's the difference. That's the difference. Because yes, while our life is based upon choice, not chances, it does require us to choose, yes. But the choices should not be exclusatory when there are things that we want in our life. I have to choose a relationship over a career. I have to choose my career over the support and love of my family. I have to choose finances over the ability to come and take care of my mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. I have to deny my education in order for me to have, social interactions or spiritual awareness and activation. These are the conversations that we find ourselves in, these conundrums. I think it was, I just dropped his name. Well, I'm forgetting everybody's name this morning. He says, to have 2 options gives you a dilemma. The more options you have, the better you can choose. Oh, his name is on the end of my tongue. I get this man a lot of money. Right? Yeah. If you can get yourself into position to understand who you are and what you really desire and why this desire is coming up at this time, you will spend less time in this seeking this hard sell to yourself about this ideal of work-life balance and balance. And I got to balance it out. Even your checkbook, you can balance your checkbook because it is an inanimate object. And it is truly, you either have this amount or you don't. But when it comes to life, it is not that absolute. Huh? It is not absolute. So we must begin to honor more and more and more of the concept, of the belief, of the process of harmonic flow. Because when I asked you to give me words that defined or that came to your mind, it was associated with the word flow, people told me words like river, water, wind, calm, peace, easy. So let's go for that. What's the commercial staples? Boom, push the easy button. You got an easy button for your life too. It's your divine sacred soul script that's inside you and has your alchemic code, your transformation code that's going to transcend all problems, all issues. It is your sacred code. And it has nothing to do with whatever you've been doing for the last however many years you are in age. But it has everything to do with what you choose right here in this moment. It has everything to do with that. And so I invite you today to consider just for a moment how your life will be improved, how your life could advance, how you could acquire more of what you desire from a holistic life harmony perspective. How could you? How can you begin to experience all that it is? How? Yeah, that picture of me, like that's me feeling myself in my flow. Can you spread yourself off and just put your head back and know that whatever is coming your way and whatever you're walking into is all right because you in the flow and you're not stressed out. And your vibrational frequency is not one that is of fear, not one of disdainment, not one of resentment, not one of past hurts, fear and frustration. It's not one of judgment, but one of saying I'm in flow and that I'm looking at my life and I'm saying that it's good. And that I don't have to keep denying myself the love. I don't have to keep denying myself the wisdom. I don't have to keep denying myself my connection to nature, to the divine universe, creator of all that ever was, is, shall be, whatever name you need to put there, put it. But you want to be more inclusive, more expansive. You want to understand the power of your alignment and the recalling and reclaiming of your original assignment. See, most of you know me as the mindset mastery lady. You know me as the money mastery lady. You know me as the spiritual lady. But I'm not decompartmentalized because all that I am is more prevalent. And I'm just saying that we can make the money. I'm saying that we can have the titles. I'm saying we can have all the assets. I'm telling you, we can travel the entire globe. But if we are not centered and grounded in our knowing and in our being, in a harmonic flow, it will not appease us. And that's why we get to people having heart attacks. That's why we get from people, unfortunately, committing suicides, giving up, letting go. Because they're living in a world where they believe that they have to exclude, that they have to be rigid, that they gotta constantly do the game, the weeble wobble. I call it the weeble wobble balancing act, right? We're not in a circus. Life is not a circus. Life is a global ride on a big wave where we're able to control our bodies. I know I tried surfing and they told me, man, you gotta pull your belly in. You got it on the balance on that board. You gotta pull your belly in and stand on the balls of your feet. Told y'all a little too much, huh? Because otherwise you wipe out. you wipe out. And many of us have wiped out enough in our life to know we no longer want to wipe out. I wiped out on the ocean, on a surfboard. But some of us have wiped out in relationships, wiped out in our finances, wiped out in our careers, wiped out emotionally, mentally. We've even wiped out spiritually. Physically in our bodies, we've wiped out. We're just tired. We've just surrendered to the ailments. So we have to consider the possibilities that exist within us. We have to consider the possibilities that if the balance isn't working, the ideal of balance is no longer working, no longer serving us, we must shake the dust from our feet. We must choose a new path in order for us to be in the harmonic flow. Truly. That's what I'm giving y'all today. The power of being in harmonic flow. And maybe you've heard it before, but not this way. But I believe in the flow. If you've been around, those of you that remember me from before, you know my music song that's called Free Flowing, right? I'm free flowing in life, doing everything I can just right, embracing who I am, where I go, where I see I am. It's all inside of you if you just believe. Free flowing in me. Right? It's all free flowing in us, but we have to be willing to allow the flow. We have to be willing to defend the flow. We have to be willing to dismantle all the dams that are being put up against us being in the flow. We have to dismantle and reconstruct the scripts that are telling us that we cannot get in the flow. We have to begin to violate those things that are preventing us from being in the flow. Yeah, that's what I said. Violate, meaning we're going to take the opportunity. We're going to take back control. We're going to do a coup. Thank you, my love. Thank you for that. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. This is the now moment. This is the centering of who we are. Men and women, we are all equally desiring to be and have more. That's the abundance stage. And abundance is not about money all the time. Abundance is about quality of life. Knowing that you don't have to hold on to everything and you don't have to fear everything because it's in abundance. There's more than enough. Yeah. And when that's more than enough is no longer visible, you're going to see there's a new more than enough. And then that's going to place you into widening your community to see the prosperity that is around you, that is possible, the connections, the building, the expansion. And then we turn into different levels of wealth in our life. Isn't that what we're all seeking? Peaceful, loving, expansive life. Yeah. Yeah, this Saturday Satdown is something. Yeah, it's something. Look at my time I spent in South Africa. I'm like, nah. That means yeah, right. Choose the harmonic flow. And again, it doesn't have to be, this big thing that everybody can notice. Start small. Start small. It could be as simple as you writing down your day. It could be as simple as getting up, and when you're brushing your teeth, you take a pen and paper into the bathroom on the sink, and you're writing down, today I go into the mailbox. Today I'm going to the meeting. Today I'm going to read the first page of that book. I'm going to write the first 10 pages of that book. I'm going to connect with Dr. Marrian and see what else she's talking about. I'm going to contact this person. Yeah. This is the honor that you owe yourself. We've honored, we've respected, we've complied, and now it's time for us to comply with our sacred soul script. It's time for us to reclaim our original assignment. As I said, some of you know, look me up. Yeah, I'm that same person, but I had a revelation. And that revelation was that do not allow yourself to be compartmentalized into what makes people feel comfortable, but actually be authentically who you be. Right? I know I heard them too in my head. They don't know. Peace and blessings be upon him. It is imperative that we begin to flip the switch. And we begin to honor more and more and more and more and more and more and more of who we be in our flow. And not denying ourselves. And I get it, we need the income because this world requires us to have an income. This world requires us, some of us, to maintain a job and employment. I'm an employee of myself, right? So I got to comply with the expectations and the needs and that's what we're going to do. But we're going to do it in a different way. We're going to take back the reins of those things that we can control and allow ourselves to expand into a higher consciousness of our divine wisdom and a higher frequency that shows us a new perspective, new opportunities. It's going to open us up to include more instead of thinking that we can't collaborate because we're afraid somebody's going to take what we have. We're going to open ourselves up to allow the harmonic flow with our loved ones, with our community members, with our colleagues, with our global family. We're going to share more, not out of fear. We're going to love unconditionally, not out of judgment. We're going to expand our gifts, our talents, our wisdoms, our knowings. We're going to expand them in a way that allows us to feel more confident, even without knowing that we're being confident. Thank you for being here, Granny. The flow. Want to learn more? Want to figure out more about what I'm talking about? Want to go a little deeper? Connect with me. Connect with me and set up a private conversation with me. Remember, you can set up a private conversation with me. I said private. And guess what? It won't cost you a dime. Why not? Because sometimes you just need to have a space to work through some things that you've heard that are a little different. Yeah? You need to find a way to hear what you think you heard while you were listening, and then see how you can apply it, and then get the rest of the parts that when you were focusing on that one piece, you can get the rest of the parts. So I'm offering you an opportunity. Scrolling at the bottom of the screen is my link tree. I'm inviting you to click the one on my link tree. So if you can go to it, if you can hear my voice while you're doing it, it won't cut you off. You can go to Linktree and you can click the button that says 20-minute consult. That means we're going to chat for 20 minutes. Seems like a short time, but it's really a long time because I've been talking for an hour and 10 minutes now. And those of you that came in, however long you've been here, that's how you know what 39 minutes I've been talking. Yeah. So go ahead and click that button that says 20 minutes coaching, counseling. Click that button, book your appointment. I got appointments today. I got appointments tomorrow. I got appointments next week. And let's think about how I can share with you some ideas. And again, this is no cost to you. This is my philanthropic give back because I believe in this. I know it works. I get paid big money to do this other places, but that doesn't negate anything that I have to do with you. Because you are just as important as a corporation that's calling me or organization that's calling me. Because without the individual, there's no whole. That's part of being in the flow. We're all interconnected. We're all valuable. So go ahead and click that link down below that's scrolling. That's linktree/spiritual soul spa. And it will give you an opportunity to understand. This is not about religion. This is not about age. This is not about gender. This is not about ethnicity. This is about finding yourself in the flow. Allowing yourself to be in the flow. To freely be who you be. Without hesitation, without worry, without doubt, without fear. That's who we are today. So go ahead and book. I see a couple of people have already. Thank you for that booking. Yes. And again, this is a private conversation. What we talk about, we're simply talking about. This is not for everyone to come back and talk about. Now, you can do what you want to do, but as for me, I won't be talking about it. Our topic, that is. You can talk about that you got to benefit from it, and we can go from there. But I also want to take a time out to remind you all also that I'll be hosting my retreats. My annual retreat is in July 14th to the 17th here in Arizona. I know some of you have asked me in inboxes about the Ghana trip. I do have 2 seats available for the Ghana trip, but it's going to require you to move fast. If you want to go to Ghana with me in March, that means you have to be able to have 6 months on your passport, get your ticket, and pay your registration fee and get your visa from the embassy. It takes about a week to get that visa back. So the quicker you move, the faster you can go. You can also talk to me during our 20-minute consultation time about that as well. If you are a man, you can prepare to attend the Warriors Healing Retreat, which is going to be ran by RJ Wright, Dr. Craig Wright, and Ingram Willem. So the 3 of them will be running it. I will also be around to provide that feminine aspect of it, of healing and restoration for our men in September here in Arizona. So there's a lot of opportunities. Also want to remind you that we're going to be having a day of presence on the 20th of February. So instead of President's Day, we do a day of presence, being present with ourselves, understanding who we are. What do we want to offer? What can we improve upon? What can we access? That's what the day of presence is about. The presence of you. Yeah. The present is the presence of you. That's what we're doing on the 20th of February. So thanks again for being here. I appreciate all of you for being here. Share it out with someone else you believe could benefit from this conversation about understanding the difference between balance and flow. Balance is more restrictive. It's going to require you to exclude things. It's going to require you to be firm and rigid. It's going to require you to be very much on the individual end result versus one that will be like a splash and reverberate throughout. That's what we're talking about today. Okay. That's what we're talking about today. Being able to put that into that harmonic flow. If this has been a benefit to you, I would love to hear some feedback. So let me know. You can also go up there and you can send me a quick note. I love it. I love notes. I love little feedbacks. It doesn't harm me. It doesn't hinder me. It only adds to the possibilities of us to have full life expansion and harmony. Until next time, I am Dr. Marrian Sista Efua, aka the Chat Diva, conscious, honest, authentic talks from a divinely inspired vision of ascension of Azon Life Alchemy Center. We'll see y'all again soon. Take care.